Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the second video in this series where we're gonna make a, well, I wouldn't say a drag and drop builder, but we're gonna probably do that in the last video using AI or something, and we're gonna see what the results are going to be. Anyway, in this video we're gonna turn this diagram into an actual implementation in our Blazor project. So I've been doing this project, or I just started doing this project actually for my current work, and they wanted to have the page builder. Okay, just a bit of adjustment so you can see the full code. And yeah, this is like a patient portal where patients come in and take a look at their, like, I don't know what they're called, like analysis results or something like that. So I've already okay, what is this? Yeah, I don't think it's important, so let's delete it, I guess. So I was like, I did this I don't know what to call it, to be honest. Maybe it's feature a feature focused architecture or something like that. We can call it that, I guess. So yeah, main functions and landing page. It's gonna be two different databases, and that's the big challenge. But today we're not gonna make databases. Today we're gonna do, what are we gonna do today? Yeah, of course. Excuse me. We're gonna create the the things that we're gonna need, the models, and of course the components themselves. We wanna have them be like actually in our system, which will probably be adding as constants. Excuse me, I'm gonna have to drink some water. Okay, so let me put my browser on the other window just so we know what we are going to do. So, um, we have a lot of things to fill, but we're gonna start with the entities first because that's the most important part of our page. And in this one, we're gonna do, what are we gonna do? Okay, in my case, I only need a single page, so I'm not gonna create like a page entity. But if you have like multiple pages that you want to do, and you probably want to create like a CMS or something, content management system, it would be good if you have like a page and then the other thing. And another thing, what's the other thing? What's the other thing? Yeah, we're gonna work with recursivity. Recursive, yeah. We're gonna do some recursive code here because if you take, okay, let me just like maybe draw it and put the browser here. Let me switch to the browser. If we have like okay, remove the background. So big div that has like, let's say, another horizontal stack, vertical stack. Then inside of that stack we have like I don't know, multiple components. We don't know how far this thing goes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna basically do some recursive code. So if it has some sub elements, we're gonna go to the sub elements. I can do that here. We're gonna go to the sub elements. If it has sub elements, we go sub elements. And then if it does, these don't have sub elements, so we stay in them. So what we do is we go one by one, and then so this one we turn to HTML. So this is like the rendering part. It's the only part where we'll probably use recursivity. And then we go to the next one. If it has sub elements, we go inside. If it doesn't, we make it HTML and combine to the previous one. And then this whole HTML, we're gonna give it to this one, and then we're gonna make this one an HTML as well, and then we're gonna go to this one. Basically, we take this HTML, include it inside, and then we go inside the other one. To do that, I've thought of something just now. It's an extensible component system in a way where, I don't know, the problem here is that Tailwind is a little bit difficult to predict So I don't know if we can have this thing with Tailwind, especially when the components are gonna be like extensible. So I'm kind of afraid that Tailwind wouldn't let us do things like this. But I'm thinking of having the like the not the CDN. Let me look it up. It's utils a theme. I'm thinking of having this one. Let me show you. Yeah, the play CDN basically. It's basically for development only, but I guess we can use it. Who's gonna stop us? Or we're gonna do like a system where we can take like the classes that we add to our components and put them in the Tailwind JSON, Tailwind JS, and then we're gonna have like we're gonna re-render Tailwind again. That's probably the most sensible solution, or the most logical one, I guess. Um, but I don't know if you can like. So now we need to install like two things. We need to install Tailwind on the client server, and then we need to install or do the tailwinding. It's a little bit it's a little bit annoying, but I guess it's part of the. Okay, so this part of what we have to do to get like extensible components. So we're gonna have component, and what was I gonna say? Yeah. So in the code of the component, so it's gonna be like this. I don't know if the component itself has content. So you're gonna add this. So content. If it also has sub content, you can do this sub content. And that should be it. It should be it. And then when I do the rendering, so yeah, the obvious one is um, we're gonna go replace the sub content with HTML. So if you go like this, we do this. This is not like real HTML. And then in content, so this is what happens with recursivity. So we go inside and then we get the HTML, we put it here, and then we go to the content itself, and then probably it's a title, let's say, and we replace it, and then we have our final HTML, and we give it to the next step. That's how I want to build like this system, but this will also give us like a lot of limitations. I'm really thinking of how to make it like super extensible. Like let's say we have like two components in the like two titles, or like a title and a subtitle, a header and a subheader. Like how can we handle those elements? That's what I'm thinking about right now. Mm. It's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky. Super tricky. I don't know. I think this should have been left for the conception part probably. But I mean, it's the conception part is this. It's what we do. But the implementation is where we start thinking actually. So yeah, that's what I really wanted to do. Yeah. So how can we do it? I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Okay, so what I'm thinking is an auto detection system. Okay, let's say you put. What was I doing? I was clicking number two, but I don't know where. Okay, let me check something first. Kind of training like an AI model, so I'm like checking on its progress from time to time. And it seems like it's shitting the bed each time. Well, that's kind of expected, not gonna lie. Okay, so let's say we have like our div and it has like an h1, so this one called title, h1, and then there's an h2 called subtitle, h2, and then div and see there. And this one, okay, let me zoom in. I knew you wouldn't see anything. So if you give this code to our like, okay, let's put it in the thing here, to our very knowledgeable parser. So what will it do? So it will know that It will have so variables, title, and subtitle, and it will save these. And now that I'm seeing or that I'm looking at this, I think we might need like a document-based database. Or you know what? I don't know. Can we have like a local MongoDB or something? Seems nuts, but no. Actually, I think what we need the it's called LightDB if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully, it's still supported. If it's not, such a waste. Yeah, it's basically a NoSQL in a single database. It's super super powerful. Hopefully, it's still supported, please. Yes, last month. Very 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 nice. Yeah, this one is super powerful. Okay, as you can see, it's yeah. I'm gonna use this instead of MySQL. So so it's gonna have like variables. This one is the component part. This one is component. Let's name it. I don't know. Name one. So it will have variables one and two, and there will always be like the I don't know. Should we add like some complex parsing? Like let's say, so title is gonna be text. Subtitle is gonna be text as well. And let's say we have like an image here, so you can do image and source. It's we do like this. We say yeah, or we say image, and then it's gonna be uh. So by default, we're gonna have only images. So we can say like this image is an image, and then in variables, it's gonna be like a more complex one of like title is text, subtitle is text, etc. etc. Yeah, this is a little bit. This should probably be like called second conception or conception part two. Yeah, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna call it conception part two. It's like implementation, initialization, or something. So instead of an array, probably need to have okay, we'll still have an array, but it's gonna be like a dictionary. How do we do it like this? I don't know. I don't care to be honest. So it's gonna be like an enum. So we're gonna predefine what the things are, and then we're gonna say like a subcontent. The rest is subcontent. Or if we have like here, for example, let's say, so yeah, subcontent is predefined. So you don't have to say what subcontent is. It's obvious that subcontent will be predefined. So we say title is text, and subtitle also is text. Don't forget the comma after each one. And then we have like image is an image, and then subcontent is gonna be true. This is gonna be like a very interesting component from what I can see. And I kind of forgot the next step, I'm not gonna lie. And when it comes to using these or to saving them, because we're using the so let's say this component is utilized. So let's call this one block. Okay, let's call this one block. It's a page block. So let's call it a block one. It will have content. So the content will also be an array or a dictionary, more or less, and it's gonna have the same type. So it's gonna be title. There we go. Title this. Of course, it's gonna be indicating components. It's gonna be uh, name one. This is like basically an ID. Let's pretend it's an ID. And content's gonna have this, and then subcontent will also be an array of content. This is how we do it. I think this should be a good way of doing it. I'm not sure. I mean, when I start implementing, the when I start implementing, the idea will be much clearer on how to do it. But this should probably be the best way of doing it. I think it is. No, it's not the best way. Like the the good way of doing it in our case, because a lot of these servers will not have a lot of load. Like at maximum, like simultaneously, there are gonna be at maximum 10 patients or so. So there won't be much people who are gonna access this page. So yeah, I think this should be perfect probably. So this block one. And then when we render it to HTML, we yeah, let's save it in memory probably. Or we're gonna have like a page, or maybe we have a page object, and the only object in that page is the HTML or the yeah. Basically, we can do that, I guess. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna make that just for you, my friends. I'm gonna make a whole pages object just so I can help you with your thingies. Yeah, yeah. Seems fine, I guess. Seems quite good. Not gonna lie, it's better than I thought. Okay, I unintentionally wanted to save. Yeah, this looks good. Is it good? We'll see once we start implementing. This is like implementation, so the first part of thinking. So this will obviously allow us to like do. Okay, let's create. Okay, a boolean for each input. Let's have it or not. Yeah, and this obviously this one is gonna be like this one is gonna be like another dictionary. So it's gonna be super interesting or super easy in a sense. I don't know. Can we have like an input, or can we have a dictionary bound to an input? Is that even possible? I'm gonna check. Give me a second. Um, okay, so Blazor input bind to dictionary value. I don't think that's possible. We'll see. Yeah, seems like it can be done, I guess. Yeah, it seems like it can be done. Super interesting. All right. Very well. Very well. Yeah, I mean keys. Yeah, the keys are obviously can change them. Yeah, dynamic forms. Okay, let's see. Structure that might change. You might want things such as creating custom components, different data structures that is based on dynamic property binding. Okay, so because it's predefined when you're creating the component, it will technically give us like a predefined form. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it does. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do something. Hmm, I don't believe it's possible. Huh. I mean, your option can be done with two-way binding because you can't change dictionary key and try and compile or something like this. Sorry. Check this. Okay, key. There we go. There we go. Why are they like trying to change the keys? Doesn't seem like a good option. I'm not gonna lie. Well, in our case, we're not gonna change keys. So if we want to create more keys, I'm gonna experiment with that. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to see how it goes when I like add multiple keys and stuff. But yeah, seems seems fine. Seems super fine. So we're gonna have like our basic And like even in text, it can be like a little bit more complex. Like let's say, okay, maybe because it's inside an H1 tag, we can just like write text. Yeah, yeah, seems logical. Yeah, I don't think I have to worry about things like that. I just have to define like the super basic components, so the text and the image, and that's it, I guess. Those should be like the like even the image can be like even the image can be a subcomponent. If we're gonna be honest, it can be a subcomponent. But if you want it as a template, I think you can do whatever you want. So an image. Let me check what else we have. Whoa, whoa, what's this? What's this? What was that? So text, image. Yeah, basically the only two things that we can add: text or image. Okay, so we created them blocks, and pages contain blocks. Should be super obvious, I guess. We're gonna see if we can bind the dictionaries, because okay, excuse me, this whole system is based on dictionaries. If we can do it, it's gonna be like a goated system. If we can't, it's gonna fail miserably. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Watch until the end of the series. Even though I haven't made the series to begin with, but let's go. Yeah, I guess see you in the next video. I'm gonna draw something in the meanwhile. So both flags that have these three colors are in danger. This one and the other, the reversed one, um, they are in danger. Don't forget them in your prayers, and see you in the next one.